Intro. Welcome to Daily Stoic Insights. When she starts ignoring you, it can feel confusing, frustrating, or even downright painful. But here's the truth. How you respond in this moment can make or break your chances of fixing the situation. Too many guys fall into traps that only push her further away. Don't let that be you. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 critical mistakes you must avoid when she ignores you and show you the smarter, more confident way to handle it. Watch now to take control of the situation and turn things around. Move quickly to make things right or win her back, but these impulsive responses are frequently the worst errors you might make in the women test guys more in the modern dating world. They're more interested in seeing if you're the type of man who can maintain his composure under duress, or if you're going to break. The most men fail the instant she pulls away. These tests are not conducted because they are evil, but due to their lack of comprehension of the psychology of a woman's behavior. Ignoring you isn't always a bad thing. Stuff its and chance. Now is your time to demonstrate that you're different from all other men who disintegrates when confronted with a small distance in which you react to this. Circumstances can either elevate her attraction to you or ruin it fully. The decision is yours. The 5 will be revealed in the video. Errors that you simply cannot afford to make. These aren't what she does when she ignores you. Arbitrary advice. These are the harsh realities that divide the men who are successful in connections from people who consistently experience being overlooked, neglected, or taken for granted. If you're sick of pursuing ladies who appear unconcerned, or if you wish to regain control over your romantic life, the lesson you must learn is this one: how to remain in charge and keep your switch the tables and use a manly frame. For your benefit, don't worry about overanalyzing or doubting that this has to do with instruction. You how to deal with the circumstance with confidence, clarity, and strength. Let's examine these errors so you never again lose authority when a lady begins to disregard. You misunderstand someone via texting or by chatting when she doesn't pay attention to you. Reaching out could be the initial instinct. You keep telling yourself that if I simply say the appropriate thing and she'll react. This way of thinking is a trap. Sending her a ton of calls or SMS or messages merely demonstrates desperation. Being insecure and lacking in emotional "stop talking too much right away" is more important than your self-esteem, and it's the quickest method to murder her. Attraction. Consider it as follows. If you're after her all the time, but when does she has time to miss you? She chooses not to allow. The silence creates tension, which you smother, with very frequent communication, which makes you appear weak. The wisest course of action is keep quiet and avoid the temptation to text her. When the initial message is disregarded, allow her to sit with your know-it-all. Women are inherently curious about absence, animals, and they'll recognize you when you give up chasing. It generates curiosity and makes her reevaluate her presumptions. About you, is he loosing or is he busy? These are the ideas you desire. Intrigue. Not why won't be going through her head, this person abandoned me. Only comprehend this. No answer is if she's not responding to you, she's delivering a message rather than responding. Take a step back emotionally and evaluate the circumstance. Perhaps she's trying to test you, or perhaps she truly doesn't care. In any case, over-communication never aids a man who respects his time. Energy doesn't pursue an unworthy person. In return, he establishes limits and leaves when called upon. Don't explain what makes him attractive. Don't ask or double-text yourself. Why doesn't she respond to your silence? Speaks louder than words could ever hope to. Allowing her to sense your absence is much more stronger than pleading for her. The second mistake in attempting to capture her attention. Many men back when a woman ignores you make the crucial error of attempting to win her back. They move into pull-ping out of overcompensation mode, extravagant displays, or going above and beyond to demonstrate their value. Whether through purchasing enjoys presents and the praise she receives, or making unintended commitments to maintain this conduct, sends a clear message that shows how desperate you are. One of a man's least appealing qualities can show it to her to let her know that you don't respect yourself and your pleasure depends on her acceptance. Women don't show respect to men who elevate them, and behave as though their absence will destroy your life as soon as she feels like she is in control of her interest. Here's the harsh reality, plummets. You can't make someone fall in love. By failing to deliver or attempting to attraction is created to persuade her to stay. On deference, secrecy, and winning her back further ruins both of you. Chase. The more in control she feels, and a lady needs to respect you more than she does. To believe that she is with a man who possesses alternatives, rather than someone who would anything rather than trying to keep her. Take a step back and concentrate to get her back. On yourself, your objectives, and the items that you're a valuable man. Hit the gym, explore your interests, and spend when a woman notices you spending time with pals thriving in her absence. It gives the impression afraid that she might lose someone who doesn't require her approval to feel. The most important thing is to keep your remain calm and focused. Avoid texting. Her long-winded excuses or explanations that don't attempt to bring up how wonderful you are with consistent reminders of previous conversations. Instead, that's not how attraction works. Let your deeds do the talking. When she notices that you haven't fallen apart, she will question her while she is away. Choice to disregard you. A man who is aware his value never feels compelled to persuade someone to continue using his services. From a position of plenty rather than scarcity, she will lose if she chooses to ignore you. Stop pursuing what you already have. Deserve when you maintain your self-assurance and confident in your identity. You'll discover that she either returns independently or allows space for someone who genuinely values what you provide. In any case, you win made the third error of reacting angrily or annoyance when a woman disregards you. It's simple to let your feelings take over. Your utmost rage, frustration, and even hurt pride may cause you to act out, rashly snapping or attempting to coerce her into answering. You could send posting passive-aggressive messages, post on social media that seeks attention media, or even challenge her with inquiries such as, "Why are you ignoring me?" These responses could seem warranted incurrently, but they do no action to enhance the circumstances. They actually make getting angry and reacting worse. Informs her right away that she is powerful over you. Demonstrating her disregard for you has impacted your emotional condition. So the extent to which you've lost control, men who look to be unable to regulate their emotions, underdeveloped and feeble characteristics that are profoundly unattractive women, value males who are able to keep their cool even in the face of losing due to rejection or disappointment. Your coolness merely validates that she made the wise decision to ignore you. Another. The issue with emotional responses is that when you get to know them, they seem needy, furious or irritated with the fundamental. Your concentration is on the message you're sending is so vital to me that I am unable to operate without it. This frame places you in a less advantageous position, and with no quantity of outbursts of emotion will change the power. Better yet, dynamic is back in your favor. The tactic is to maintain composure. Your best defense in this situation is silence, circumstance where you allow her to ignore you. Don't react in a way that adds to the drama, emotionally rather than concentrating on being. Being unconcerned does not imply repressing your feelings or acting indifferent. It entails directing your energies towards something constructive instead of allowing Her actions determine your, for instance, rather than ranting on social media or picking up her phone. Spend that time taking care of yourself by visiting the working out, working on personal projects, or spend time with those who genuinely appreciate you. Once she realizes that her disregarding you hasn't made you self-assurance or interfered with your life, it changes the storytelling. She'll start to question why you are not responding, and this interest frequently causes her to restart. Contact women find themselves drawn to guys who are able to face hardship with grace. The capacity to remain composed under pressure, show emotional maturity and strength. Her understanding is that you're not easily, that you're the type of man who gets shaken, who can manage difficulties without disintegrating, and finally responding out of anger or annoyance just makes you less posture. A calm, self-assured man doesn't tolerate the actions of others. Determine his behavior or sense of value by keeping your emotions under control. Not only maintain your honor, but additionally, affirm your admiration for her. Eyes error 4 is looking for approval, or she apologizes too much when she doesn't. You males are susceptible to the trap of apologizing excessively or looking for approval to correct the circumstance. They believe they must have acted improperly even when there isn't any proof for this. Results in messages such as, "Did I do things to aggravate you?" or "I apologize if have I done something incorrectly." Although this may seem like a sign of maturity or accountability, as it truly is, conveys feelings of insecurity and self-doubt in need of approval, changes the power dynamic completely to her advantage. In essence, you're requesting that she dictate your value, which diminishes your worth. In her opinion, a high-value man doesn't depend on the approbation of another person to feel certain or deserving. He is aware of his own value and doesn't consider it necessary to continuously defending himself or pleading for assurance. Excessive apology is just as many ladies don't find males attractive, who take responsibility right away and attempt to fix issues without completely being aware of the circumstance. This behavior shouts insecurity and gives the appearance that you're being cautious merely to. Women prefer a man who can avoid conflict, be steadfast rather than someone who gives up easily. The initial indication of stress rather than expressing regret or looking for approval. Don't needlessly keep your cool if you genuinely think you've erred. Confess it, but only if and when it is justified. So don't grovel or excessively compensate. One simple an apology is sufficient. Is there anything more than that appears to be a sign of weakness? And what you must comprehend about desperation is that quiet can occasionally indicate she might be busy testing, but nothing at all, or just not sure how she feels. In any case, I'm obsessed with her response, because looking for approval won't alter the result. It will simply make you appear less. The best move here is to be attractive, confidence that you haven't done anything incorrect until there is convincing proof to. On the contrary, allow her to miss and understand that you're not there. Don't ask for clarifications or her consideration. She will come to you at her own pace. In the end, your confidence is what women are attracted to males who are carrying themselves with confidence and are not in need of constant comfort by avoiding the error of apologizing excessively or looking for approval. You present yourself as an informed man. His value, which is extremely. 5. Attempting to create a beautiful error. When a lady ignores you, she gets envious. A lot of men turn to make her envious in an effort to get her attention again. They begin sharing pictures of yourself with other women, boasting of their involvement in social events, or giving clues about their desirability are superficial. This could appear to be a clever move. After all the creation, she might become interested in competition. Correct? This strategy frequently backfires and gives you a petty, juvenile appearance. Insecure, the issue with attempting to create. The fact that it's transparent makes her envious. Women have a keen sense of intuition and can recognize when a man is acting in order to obtain a response rather than viewing you as. She'll notice someone of high value who's making an excessive effort to appear. Your effort is admirable. Creating the appearance of an enjoyable living a full life sends a strong message. You lack self-assurance and contentment, and you need her involvement to confirm your worth. The potential consequences of this strategy cause permanent harm if she does feel. She might react differently if she is jealous. You desire. She may perceive your actions as immature or manipulative and make a decision, or maybe you're not worth her time. She can choose to play the identical game, driving you farther into a destructive pattern of outdoing one another instead of constructing a healthy dynamic. Living is a superior strategy. Genuinely, if you're a true high. Your deeds will speak for you, value man. Themselves concentrate on your objectives and interests. Her interests not for her own gain, but rather for yours. If you're truly leading a happy life, it will come naturally. Get her interest without you having to impose the problem on one of the most alluring qualities in a man. Our disregard for external validation. When a woman notices that you're not interested in her, response that piques her interest in why? Because most men lack actual confidence, rush to establish themselves, but the man who ever doesn't play games is unique, the person who lives his life blatantly not trying to impress people. However, because he is motivated by his own aspirations, if you wish to get her interest, concentrate on increasing your worth. Not pretending, whether that entails increasing your level of fitness and progressing your profession or expanding your personal interests, that you should focus on transforming into your greatest self. Men who are attractive to women include independent, self-sufficient, and satisfied by staying clear of the trap of attempting to make she is envious of your emotional projection. Two traits are maturity and confidence that are too good to resist. Allow her to. You are inherently drawn to the man who does not have to coerce or look for confirmation, which is the real indicator of a high worth. Waiting around for her is a man's sixth mistake. Responding to one of the worst errors, when a lady ignores a man, he can make. Putting his life on hold waiting for this apathetic response from her. Her actions indicate that she is paying attention to your universe's center, and without, you're trapped in limbo. Women have a keen sense of is able to determine when a man's life is between them, and it's a huge turn-off. It shouts neediness and inadequacy. Purpose. The unpleasant truth is that waiting around does nothing if she isn't paying attention to you. Isn't on you, and you're just sitting there idle. Diminishes your worth in her opinion. Ladies are drawn to males who take initiative and goal-oriented, rather than time-wasting, pondering unresolved messages, or focusing on the things that went wrong when you. Hold on, you're not wasting time. You're losing her and your own respect. Take control of the new dating scene and reward guys who put themselves and their high-value man never sets his sights on putting his life on wait for an unworthy person, putting up effort in return, rather than just sitting by your phone recording each dialogue in your mind. Take that energy and direct it into enhancing your own life. Go to the gym and concentrate on your profession, learn a new skill, or invest time in with companions who enhance your time is your most valuable resource in life. Resource, and squandering it while awaiting your power is diminished by someone else. Comprehend that your aim and goal ought to constantly be a man with a mission radiates assurance and women's independence traits. Unstoppable by concentrating on your own life, you don't just forget about her quiet, yet you also send a powerful implicit message. I don't require you to feel content with this attitude, not just safeguards your value as a person, but also makes you will look more appealing if she eventually reaches out. She will discover a man with been flourishing without her, not a who has been moping about themselves, and if that's her loss, not yours, because she doesn't, you've leveled up throughout that time. Improving oneself as a person, which raises your worth going forward. When someone enters your life, keep in mind, waiting for her to answer provides the once you step, you give her all the power. Away and concentrate on your personal development. Recover the authority you demonstrate, that you're not reliant on her to be happy, or don't sit in a place of stagnation for validation, wishing she would notice and continue on. Women, whether or not she is in your life, are attracted to active men who are always changing and aiming for. Moreover, if she is ignoring you, let her to there are greater things for you to accomplish than spend time hoping to find someone who could not recognize your value, as a man who understands his value never waits and assumes responsibility for his own. 7 life mistakes that alter who you are to win her approval when a woman disregards you. It's easy to think that if you simply change your conduct or become what you believe she wants to abruptly observe you, this could imply lowering your personality, taking up her hobbies, or making a special effort to match her preferences. Even though this strategy could appear reasonable at first glance, it's among the fastest methods to lose her admiration and oneself in the process of evolving into the person you are betrayed in order to appease a woman. Women are naturally drawn to your genuineness, attracted to males who are self-assured identity that is steadfast in its principles and who lead lives according to their own rules. The instant you begin changing yourself too, you give her a clear signal by fitting her mold, that you don't think highly of yourself. In essence, you're telling her, I'll do anything in order to gain your favor, and that the fact is that my friend is ugly. Men who set the tone are respected by women. Life according to their own criteria. When you to fit her, you must sacrifice who you are. Expectations, you erode the basis of who you are. You are no longer the she was first drawn to you dude. Turn into a better version of yourself that's ironically reliant on her approval. The more you attempt to make accommodations for her, the she is less likely to appreciate or want. Instead of adjusting to her, you preferences emphasize be yourself without apology if she's disregarding you due to the fact that if she truly is, then she is not the proper, a high-value dude, doesn't fit you. Give up his integrity in order to win anyone over. He adheres to his convictions, desires and objectives, understanding that the right woman will be attracted to him because of he is not for the person he poses as. Does not imply that you should not develop or enhance. Growth is crucial, yet it ought to originate from a desire to improve oneself, not from a need to please someone else. Differentiation is crucial. Among constructive self-improvement and going above and beyond to accommodate other people's expectations, one is an indication of strength. As a woman's other weakness realizes that you won't alter who you are. In order to get her attention, she will identify your self-assurance and dignity, will recognize that you are not a man who lacks readily influenced, which makes you more. A doormat is not what attractive women desire. They are looking for a man who is adamant, who can oppose them and take a stand, steadfast in his identity by adhering to. You take back your authority. If she decides to stay away, you haven't lost anything as a result of keeping your integrity unharmed. And if she comes back, she will do so because she recognizes the worth of who you really are, not the persona you believe that she should never allow. A woman's silence causes you to doubt your value or identity. You are sufficient just the way you are, and the appropriate woman will notice and value that. Maintain your integrity, keep true to yourself, and allow things to happen as they may. The mark of a man who is aware of his worth at the end when a woman disregards the secret is to keep your calmness and self-respect, steer clear of the typical errors of excessive pursuit validation, exhibiting an emotional response, or attempting to influence the result. Instead, concentrate on fortifying yourself, and being a real woman will be attracted to your assurance and autonomy. And if she doesn't, I respect your worth, but it's her loss. Keep in mind that your time and effort are priceless. Don't throw them away on someone who is unwilling to make an investment in you. Be confident in your value and allow the appropriate someone who visits you on your terms and comments the errors you've previously made, or most likely posting in the comments, "Now let's fix them below. Thanks as, until the next time, and always for watching." This is a stoic way of living.